One of my favorite TV shows of all time is the extremely popular anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. And while I usually don't enjoy anime, there is something so uniquely distinct about this series that it has kept me engaged every time I've rewatched it. There's a scene that always spoke to me that when in episode 4, when Shinji runs away from Nerve, Misato has this interaction with Ritsuko, talking about something called the Hedgehog's Dilemma. The main gist of the Hedgehog's Dilemma is that when hedgehogs get cold and huddle together for warmth, their quills get in the way, poking each other. They must find a perfect distance from each other where they get the maximum amount of warmth with the minimum amount of pain. I believe that this is the same way with people and their boundaries. Most people, at least in my corner of the globe, seem to try to avoid life's pain and strife like it's the plague, not understanding its importance. This makes relationships with each other immensely more difficult. The amount of times I've seen people who are so beautiful separately drown each other's grace out by simply miscommunicating is astounding. We've all had a miscommunication spiral out of control before. It's a weirdly comforting human experience. I think that humans are extremely poor at communicating to each other, despite all the languages we invent. I would consider myself relatively well educated, not to sound pompous, but I still have an immense trouble figuring out how to communicate my struggles and my feelings to the people around me without coming off one way or the other. Most people seem to read too much into certain messages or certain things people say, their body language, their tone of voice, their punctuation, and that has always really bothered me. This may be because of my autism, but I believed and try to operate on the fact of if I say it, I mean it, and try to be less elusive. I remember once, when I was 14, I was messaging this girl that I had a huge crush on at the time, and I reread her message over and over again throughout the day, because to me, it felt like she was obviously flirting back, so I responded accordingly. I later found out that she never liked me like that, and I read into it too much. Sometimes, I wish there was a way to just telepathically communicate my thoughts to people, like some sort of superhuman empathy, which would let people experience the world literally through my eyes, so they can grasp whatever I'm trying to tell them. If you have to glean anything from this incoherent rambling of a video, take this piece of very basic advice. Everybody has distinct views of who you are in their mind. Sometimes you're meaner, sometimes you're more gracious, or cunning, or taller, or an infinite amount of other things. The only person that can ever truly understand you is you. It's impossible to understand someone else's worldview if you do not have a grasp on your own. Take the time you need to learn the map of yourself before you try to memorize someone else's. Your idea is flawed of them too, and will never reflect the true them. There is an ever-growing transparent barrier in between you and everyone else that exists. You cannot cross that barrier, but you can see through it. Love, to me, is the attempt of looking through that barrier. Not fully comprehending what's behind it per se, but the curiosity of wanting to see what a person is like across that transparent glass. The gaze across the glass alone is the act of love to me. I think that's about it for what I have to say on this topic. Next video, I'm going to talk about what I think the self is, and how I've coped with that, as it's something that dwells in my mind quite a lot. This is also a good time to put my footnote here, the one where I say that I am no means a wise person, and that I am very young, and my perceptions of things and experiences will change throughout my life immensely. This is just a picture into who I am at this particular moment, at this particular day. Also, until I eventually close this channel, videos from now, feel free to ask me any questions pertaining to anything in the comments. I'll gladly answer as many as I can. Yeah, that's about it. I really appreciate if you watched all the way through this. If you didn't, I would say thanks anyways, but you're probably not hearing this, so bye-bye.